Welcome back to Non-Master Productions. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get out, organize your cords, your hoses, your pressure washer hoses, all those kind of things.
Whee! This is fun! This is so fun! This is every day.
Here's the secret. There's no best way. I came out today. I was out in the yard, I was in the shed, just trying to get things cleaned up, getting ready for spring. And one of the things I saw was my pressure washer and started thinking about one of the biggest headaches is how to manage cords and hoses, how to store them so that you can use them effectively and efficiently when you get out in the yard to do work. Let's be honest, most of us are DIYers, just like myself. The time that we're spending out working in the yard, even though we love it, is time away from our families. So the quicker that we can get things into place to use and put back away and stored, the faster we can get to the things that are important to us, that time with the family. Because at the end of the day, why do we want to have a nice yard? Yeah, we want it to look good. We want it to look incredible. But we want to be able to be in that incredible looking yard with our family. So thinking about some things, one of the most frustrating things is that pressure washer. The way that a lot of people coil their pressure washer hose is just a standard coil. You take it, everything's all going the same, and when you pull it out, everything kinks up, and it's very, very frustrating. So what I've started doing is what I like to call a lineman's coil. Some people refer to it as a OverUnder Cool, and I think it works really good in the situations when you're out there with a pressure washer. When you're doing the lineman's coil or the OverUnder Coil compared to a standard coil, you'll do one coil the normal way that you would normally do it, and the other coil will actually fold under itself. So what that does is it actually builds the twist in the line into the coils. So as you coil it out and as things stretch out, it just flips out. For me, a standard coil works really well with garden hoses. If you've seen my above ground sprinkler build, you know that I have a lot of garden hoses to deal with. Because of that, I use bins to store them. And because they're going into the bins and they can get sort of messed up, I don't like to use a lineman's coil. I just put a standard coil. I know I'm going to be fighting all the kinking as I put those hoses out, but it's something I'm okay with dealing with because when I deploy them, I'm going to put them out for a long time. It's not something I'm going to put out, put back up, put out, put back up. When those go out, they tend to stay out for several weeks at a time. So I'm not really worried about having to fight the kinks each time that I put them out. For the hose that I use around the house, one of the things I like to use is just a simple reel. You don't have to fight it at that point in time. I've been put onto a new trick with garden hoses I'm going to try out this year when I get them out. When I go back to store them, I'm actually going to put them into a trash can that has wheels on them. Be easier to store, easier to move around. Right now they're all in big bins and they don't really fit together. You look at a trash can, it's round. It makes the shape that's going to be, so you have less wasted space in there. You just drop them in the trash can, you're good to go. So I'm going to look at doing that. The next thing we're going to look at is electrical cords. This is where a lot of people talk about the best way to do it. And again, I go back to saying there's no best way. It's how are you going to use it? How are you going to store it? What's the easiest for you? That's what makes it the best way. So you can use a standard coil with an electrical cord, just gather it up, wrap up the top, makes it really easy to handle and to hang. Another thing that you can do, they sell just the little straps, the little bungees you can wrap around it, or the little carry handles that make it great to carry and store them, to hang them. Some people utilize wrapping it, leaving a long length of cord outside of it to where you can throw it over your shoulder and carry it on a job site or something like that. So there's multiple ways to finish up either one of the coils, whether you're looking at just the flat coil or the lineman's coil whenever you're dealing with electrical cords. Another way you see people talking about wrapping up extension cords is using a daisy chain. A daisy chain is very easy to do. It's just a slip knot on top of a slip knot on top of a slip knot, and you can do it as a single run or a double run. Utilizing the daisy chain does help minimize the kinks and the frustration as you're dealing with it, but you do have the issues. Which end do I pull, and remembering how to do the things to where it falls apart neatly. Otherwise, you're just fighting it and pulling each one of those loops out, and that can be frustrating. So it's one of those things, if you use it, you need to get used to using it so you know how it operates, for one. But you look at the advantage of the daisy chain, to me more than anything, is how am I storing it? So if I store my electrical cords in bins the same way that I do garden hoses, so with an electrical cord, because it's pliable, the daisy chain allows it to lay pretty flat whenever you're utilizing it in bins, so you can store it a whole lot more efficiently in a square bin. I hope this video gave you an idea about the best way for you to store your hoses and extension cords in a manner that you're able to use them and that you're able to store them based on your unique circumstances. Thanks again for joining Non-Mastery Productions. If you haven't already done so, like and subscribe.